Hey guys, this is tomatoanus. I just wanted to talk about a few things briefly in this video that pertain to the Fallout speedrun community, specifically the Fallout 1 community. The first topic I'm going to talk about is the removal of all the Planet's runs from the leaderboard. If you guys don't know who Planet is, he first took the any percent record for Fallout 1 in May of 2016, and he's held it ever since. He's a very skilled player, there's no denying that, but there are a couple reasons why his runs are now removed from the leaderboard. The first of the reasons his runs were removed is inappropriate behavior towards other members in the community, and the second is that his runs are suspected of being cheated. I'm only going to go into detail on the latter issue just for sake of privacy to other members in the community and to Planet himself. So before I explain why Planet is suspected of cheating, let me explain a few things about the Fallout 1 speedrun. When you begin the game, you start off in a cave that has several rats in it. To progress with the game, you have to escape the cave by running past all of the rats. These rats will often aggro onto you, causing you to enter combat and lose several seconds of your run. There is a small chance that the rats will choose to wander away from the player's path, making it so they don't aggro onto you, but the odds of getting one of these is pretty low, and the chance of getting two to ignore you, or even three, is just insane. So after you leave the cave, you then have to cross the wasteland from this overview map. And as you cross the wasteland, you'll randomly enter encounters that'll lose you a fair bit of time for each one you get sucked into. A really good run would only have one or two encounters, with some people being lucky enough to get encounterless runs. I myself have had a few encounterless runs in the hundreds of attempts I've done, but they're incredibly rare. So with that being said, let me explain why Planet's runs are now removed from the leaderboard. All of this information was recently brought to light, otherwise it would have been acted on earlier. In August of 2017, Planet sent several files to another runner via email, with one of the attached files being a program that allowed for the modification of game files to reduce the chance of random encounters in the wasteland segments of the run. So essentially, Planet was able to remove the chance of encounters when he was crossing the wasteland. This email was verified by mods via a screenshot, and none of Planet's submitted runs contained any wasteland encounters. As I said before, this isn't abnormal to not have encounters in a run, as there are many runners whose runs don't have encounters. However, unlike the other runners, Planet never streamed live attempts of his runs to demonstrate that he could get encounters. We only saw videos of him all of his videos showed him not getting encounters, and the only times where he did live stream his runs were at 2 live marathons, and in both live runs he did not get any encounters. In addition to the removal of the wasteland encounters, it's believed that Planet removed one of the rats in the cave segment at the beginning of the run. During a private conversation that was later confirmed with screenshots, Planet admitted to having used a map editor to remove the second rat from the cave, and this is the rat I'm referring to is the rat that's hidden behind the wall at the 90-degree turn in the cave. We're unsure if Planet used this modified map in his runs, but the rat is only visible in one of his runs that we have seen. All of his other runs have him running very close to where the rat should spawn, and the rat is not visible. I want you to note, though, that it is possible that the rat did spawn, and it just so happened to walk northwest of its spawn spot to not aggro onto him, and also be out of range for him to see. But the odds of this happening are incredibly low, along with all the other RNG that went in his favor in the runs. There's also a belief that Planet may have also modded his game files to reduce the amount of damage he took from laser doors in the military base, so that he wouldn't have to stim pack at all, but we're not certain that he did. There's no proof pointing to that. Additionally, Planet's 2 most recent any percent PBs didn't have any audio, meaning they could have easily been spliced, but we don't believe they were. Regardless, the community has come to the decision to remove all of Planet's runs from the leaderboard. So that kind of begs the question, where do we go from here? Well, as a community, we decided to add a few new rules to the leaderboard that will pertain to all runs submitted from now on. The first rule is that in all runs, the in-game audio must be at an audible level. This is being implemented as a precautionary measure to combat against the prospect of splicing. And this rule is going to apply to all submitted runs for all categories. Plus, it's nice to have good video like a good video quality when you're submitting a run, just to represent the speed game well. The second rule being implemented from now on only pertains to any % runs that are better than 6 minutes, or runs of other categories that are records for their respective runs, or for their respective categories. Whenever you finish the run, in the same video, the runner must then start a new game with the same character file that was used in the run they just finished, and the player must then demonstrate that all the rats are present in the cave and that it is possible for them to get random wasteland encounters on that save file. In addition to these rule changes, we've removed the any % segmented category from the leaderboard due to the category being incredibly inactive with no runs for over 2 years. Also, the regular any % record is faster than the segmented record, which displays a lack of interest in the category, and that segmented as a whole is a dated concept in speedrunning that it's not really done very often, and it's typically not a category people compete in with a leaderboard. But that's really all I have to say about the topic. I'm not going to be going into any more detail in the future in any of my videos or on my stream, but if you have any questions about anything, please do leave a comment. All I ask is that you please respect other people's privacy when it comes to issues like that. I can't stress that enough. But thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a good day.